Hey guys, Steve here again from Charlie Noise Games and Collectibles. Just got a little mail day video here for you. It's been the box arrived a little while ago, probably a week ago now. It's taken me a little while to sort of combobulate my thoughts. Um, like I always knew that I wanted to open this on camera, but it's taken me a little while to congeal my thoughts on how I feel about this product that's in here. Um, and my reasons for buying it and my reasons for sharing that thought process with you. I think let's just crack into this while I talk. Um, what I would say is for anybody who is into the sealed TCG investing space, that I feel that this is quite possibly the safest 150 Australian dollars that a person can spend right now. Now, that is not to say that this product is $150 at retail. This is a scalped product. Somebody else has bought this at retail and then is on selling them at 150, 160, $170. But they are not available at retail without a lot of luck or a lot of effort. And so if you want to have a position in them, I feel like buying them from a scalper is essentially the only way to do it. I wish it were different, but sadly it is not. Here we go. Prismatic Evolutions, ETB, times 2, from January, released in January earlier this year, or January of this year, I should say. I don't think these go down. I understand that they are very prominent in the eyes of the Pokemon company as far as reprints go. They realize that they have been underprinted. I mean, the market went absolutely bonkers in January when these came out. The excitement and the hype was building in the November leading up to it with the release of Surging Sparks. You could see it, but it reached a fever pitch on the release of these, and essentially just on the strength of the set. It is an Eevee set. And we have all seen what happened with the last Eevee set. They are very heavily reprinted. These have sort of in America, the Costco and the Sam's Club sort of bundles that came out had the reprint of the ETBs combined with the booster bundle. Here they were sort of showing up in waves at Kmart and EB Games, but there's flat out just not enough to go around. The number of times that I've walked into a Kmart to see bare shelves is it's hard to overstate. Now, it's not something that I go out of my way to do. I'll say that right off the rip, that the supermarket where I do my food shopping and Kmart are in the same complex, and so anytime I sort of go to that complex for to buy food or for any other reason, you just walk a couple of meters away and there's Kmart there, and I'll always walk in just to see on the off chance that if they've got anything sort of sitting on the shelves. And basically since the very end of last year, that's so seldom been the case. I did manage to pick up a couple of binder collections from Prismatic Evolutions, sort of more or less right at the beginning. But since then, nothing. El Zilcho. And I don't see a universe where they don't climb. They're in such high demand that I don't think it matters how many they print. 100,000 ETBs being printed off and re-released into the wild. This, if you split that up over the entire world, and each retailer, like it's so few boxes, and I let's say 10 boxes show up in your local retail outlet, and they're at MSRP, they're at retail price. Anybody with the means who follows the market at all is just going to pick up all 10, and then you're back down to zero again for the next person that walks in. Think back to 151. There was a lot of hype around 151 when it came out. I remember because like the Pokemon was in a bear market at the time. People were sort of unhappy with the Scarlet Violet sort of beginnings, the era. You know, they'd done away with like sort of the gold borders. They introduced the silver border. People weren't happy with the pull rates, as in they were too easy apparently. But the one sort of shining light on the hill was 151. And even then 151 ETBs were available. You know, you could walk into retailers and find them on the shelves and just pick one up and go and pay for it without much effort at all. Those days are gone. That era is sort of behind us. And even with that being the case, anybody who's in the Pokemon market space, the Pokemon environment, anybody who follows the market are super bullish on 151. Most people would argue that 151 is probably the set to invest in. There's a lot of nostalgia attached to it. There's people love the set. There's no denying that. I don't dispute that in any way, shape, or form. But anyway, 151 is coming to the end of its life cycle, and the closer we get to it being sort of off the reprint radar and cycling out of print, the more people are pushing for, you know, buy it now before it goes up, get your position now, because we're reaching that sort of 2-year time frame, and that seems to be the magic number for everybody. 2 years, it's in print for 2 years, and then it's done and we never see it again. This came out in January. This is 6 months old already, and despite the focus that Pokemon Center has on, Pokemon Company has on reprinting these bundles, it hasn't affected the availability or the price of it at all. Like it's held it in check. Obviously, I feel like if if it was just like that initial first release and then it was done, like these would be almost unaffordable already. But like everything else in the TCG space, these are finite. These will eventually go out of print, and when they do, the inevitable will happen. They will go up in price, and I would argue they go up very, very, very quickly. I've said previously that I like to have Nostalgianomics on in the background while he does his rip and chips, while I'm working around the house or doing housework or whatever. And he implores people. He flatly states that Prismatic Evolutions is far and away the most ripped product that he has, and that it's like, he's small, but like he goes through like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of packs a week. You compare that to some of the other bigger rip and chippers, like the fact that they don't come in booster boxes either. Let's say somebody opens 90 packs, which in the big scheme of things is not very much. That's 10 booster bundles. 900 packs, 900 not booster bundles, ETBs. They're not going to last. They're going to go away, and they're going to go away very, very quickly. And on TCG says that the potential value of a set lies in a Pokemon sealed product lies in the overall set value sort of multiplied by the rarity of that product. Now, I'm not arguing that Prismatic Evolutions is rare in the traditional sense. I think a lot of people have it. They'd like more, obviously. But the demand for it, just the public demand for it, is just so far outstrips what's available. Yeah. Anyway, look at Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies, people want the Moonbryon. It's one individual card, $1,600 give or take. And then obviously that it goes down from there, but there's other valuable cards in the set. I'm not just discounting that at all, but it's people rip it for the Moonbryon. There was a booster box that sold today for 4,450 Australian dollars. And it's going up. The best you could possibly do when you rip a pack of Evolving Skies is that you will pull that one card. The individual cards in Prismatic Evolutions are not quite the same value. The Sunbryon from Prismatic is half that, probably. But this product has God packs in it. We all know this. And the price of ripping one of those... Sorry, not the price of ripping, but the value contained within a God pack, you're looking at probably $2,000 to $3,000 American dollars raw. The very prospect that one of those could be in there demands that the price of these go up. I mean, Pokemon, I've said it previously, like it feels a lot like gambling when you rip a pack. That's the jackpot. That's the thing that people are chasing. They want to rip these packs on the off chance that this one, the one that they rip now, contains those cards within and that value held within the cards. They want the endorphin rush of ripping it. They do it on a Rip and Ship stream, right? They get to share in that experience with the people in chat. They get to share the excitement of the streamer opening it and seeing it and being excited for them. That's not going to go away. That's always going to be the case. Like, gambling's as old as civilization itself, and this is an extension of that. It hits and it touches the same parts of the brain that gambling does, and these will go away. And the people with the resources are still going to want to rip them. I don't care what happens within the Pokemon TCG space from here on. Whether it remains bullish, whether we go into a bear market for whatever reason, I don't think it matters. People can go so cold on Pokemon as a whole, in general, and people will still want these. And then when the market turns again, those that are holding it, they're going to see the benefits. So, yeah, that's my thinking on it. If you can get these for $150, for $160, and you can afford to do so, I would argue that it's not overpriced. 151 ETBs, one sold, a couple of days ago for $640 Australian? These are better than those. Yeah. Anyway, that's my thinking. I'm going to pop these in the cupboard now, and I will let me know what you think, whether you agree, disagree, whether you're mad at me. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys. Bye bye.